Welcome back to our show. Spring is here, and experts are warning that our mild winter could mean allergy season is starting earlier and maybe even more severe than last year. Nationally recognized allergist Dr. Tanya Elliott is joining us live by satellite this morning from New York, ready to share helpful tips just before allergy season gets into full bloom. It's great to see you, Doctor. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This is a time of year when everything took flight weeks ago. Flowers started blooming quite some time ago here in Richmond, Virginia, and it seems like the season was up and running much earlier than normal. I guess we weren't just imagining that.
No, and anytime you have a warmer than usual winter and above average rainfall, you're in for a pretty heavy duty allergy season. And it's not like we need anything else to worry about right now, but unfortunately, this probably will be a pretty severe allergy season that, as you said, it will be worse than last year.
So with that in mind, does that mean that it will go on longer? It would be more intense, and or folks who might not typically suffer from allergies may experience things this year when they typically haven't in the past?
All of the above. It means a longer than usual allergy season. It's already started. It also means more pollen in the air. And anytime there's more pollen in the air, then even people who don't have allergies will suffer from just the irritant effects of the amount of pollen that's in the air. It could be very irritating to the eyes as well as to the nasal passages. So even if you don't have an allergy to pollen, you can still experience some of those allergy type symptoms, including the itching and congestion.
Many folks are already taking prescription level drugs to tackle the allergies. You might start getting into over the counter, and you might start to add on some other things. Can we end up, with so many treatments that it could be exacerbating what's going on?
Well, I think the most important thing is to treat the source. So, if the biggest problem for you is nasal symptoms and you want to go with a treatment for your nose. If you just have general mild allergy symptoms, you may want to go for an oral antihistamine. For people who have eye allergies, and that's 1 in 5 Americans walking around, I recommend treating the source because remember, the eyes are the most sensitive part of the body, or one of them. And so I recommend an antihistamine eye drop. Now, previously, there wasn't really anything available over the counter. It was only prescription. One of my favorite medications, it's called Pataday, is now just made available over the counter. So you can get it at a Walmart or a CVS or a Rite Aid. And that's always been my go-to for eye allergy sufferers.
And Dr. Elliott, with so much focus right now, rightfully so, on the COVID-19 virus, and how do you differentiate between symptoms that you may be experiencing and certainly keeping your hands away from your face and rubbing those eyes when this time of year is so bad?
So if you're an eye allergy, one of the most common reasons we touch our face is to rub our eyes. So that's why I would definitely recommend something like Pataday now, especially because it works within a couple of minutes of when you have symptoms, and they have a once-a-day formulation. So that's sort of the go-to that you should have in your medicine cabinet now that it's available over the counter. In terms of distinguishing between COVID-19 and allergies, we're going to draw a line right here, okay? Here below, that's coronavirus. Here up, think allergies. And so I'll explain in a moment. So coronavirus is mainly a disease that impacts the lower airways. So you're experiencing problems with your lungs. The predominant symptom is coughing. With allergies, it mainly impacts the upper airways and the eyes. So itchy eyes, runny nose, congestion, a little bit of throat clearing and scratchiness. If you have a cough, it's because you have a lot of mucus and you're constantly clearing your throat. Whereas the cough from coronavirus is a dry cough. And then the most important thing is fever. You do not get a fever if you have allergies.
A great explanation. Thank you so much for making time to talk with us this morning, Dr. Elliott.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. Appreciate it. We'll have more information on WTVR.com/VTM. It's a spot to go to find a link to all the details Dr. Elliott shared with us today. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Virginia This Morning.